Welcome to Sarcasm and Serotonin. Welcome and hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us on episode 1 of Sarcasm and Serotonin.
Yeah.
I'm Joey, and this is Brent, my co-host, and frankly, we don't have any idea how this is going to go.
Not a clue.
No. So I guess we'll probably start off with just answering a few questions first, and probably the question, Brent, that I think everybody's asked me is, what are y'all doing? What's this going to be about? And the reality of it is about everything and nothing all at the same time.
Yep.
We're going to give our opinions on some topics. It might be something that's in the news. It might be something in music. It might just be something that is just floating through our brains. But what I want it to be is an organic conversation. And the simple fact is we're probably going to say what you want to say. And that's sometimes going to be offensive, and sometimes it's going to be hilarious, and sometimes it's just going to be what it is. So some of y'all that have viewed this, I know me. Brent, you want to kind of introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, Joey invited me into this new endeavor a couple months ago. It kind of just came up as a free thought process. We didn't even know if it would really turn out to be anything, and just a couple weeks ago kind of informed me that it was coming this route. So I'm excited. Hopefully Joey's excited. We're going to have a pretty good lineup down the road here. A couple big names who may be popping through the studio here in a couple weeks. But I've known Joey, for 4 or 5 years now?
I don't know if it's not been longer than that. I don't know how long.
Time just seems
time seems to just get away from us anymore. But, Brent and I know each other. We're in the same field of business together, so we kind of cross paths on that pretty often. But the biggest thing I want people to understand with sarcasm is that it's going to be a conversation. We're going to have guests on sometimes. Sometimes we might be doing skits. It just is what it is, and it's all just to entertain you, entertain y'all, the fans. So that's who we are. That's kind of what we want to do with this. But and one of the things I kind of was throwing around, I've looked at, I listened to a bunch of podcasts and things like that, and it's actually funny. They really, really, really kind of go all over the place. And one of the funniest ones out there is the Bad Friends podcast. With Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
Man.
Bobby Mom.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Bobby Mom. But
he went way viral. I don't even think he was expecting his jokes.
No, man.
I think later on he even talked about how he didn't expect it.
But they are so good. They are so good. And of course, there's the GOAT. We talk about Rogan all the time and things like that. And so there's going to be stuff where we just talk. There's going to be podcasts where we may have an interview, musical guests. We're set up to record music in here as well. As you can see, we've got a lot of stuff. I might even one day break a guitar down or get on the piano or something like that.
Yeah, I don't really have enough room for drums in here, but
no.
A little soft pad or something.
We can get you some of them electric drums.
That's right.
Them fake drums.
Little 6-tab thing.
Yeah.
Get at Walmart.
Yeah.
$14.99.
So one of the things I thought was funny and something I always get a kick out of is reading the headlines a lot of times. And
in today's world?
Yeah, it's terrible. And the other part about that is, and I don't know how you feel, Brent, but, if we're going to talk about the headlines, I kind of want to talk about the news in general. And I don't even really know if it's news anymore. I can't wrap my head around. And it doesn't matter what network you look at.
No.
It's all trash in my book. It's really like just a team of people, 2 teams of people when we think about the big networks. It's two teams of people trying to win a farting contest or something, and just by seeing which fart smells the worst without shitting their pants.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
It's a big dick contest.
it is, man. And I don't care. I want you to give me the information.
Right.
I don't care about your spin on it. I don't give a damn about your pundits'
Or your
opinion.
political candidate. Everything
your
drives back to the goddamn political candidate.
And I don't care about that. Give me information. Let me process it and let me make my decision on it.
You mean like news was intended to do?
Yeah. Walter Cronkite level news.
That's right.
You know. But they get on their moral high grounds and, you know, and then they distort the truth and they tell half truths, and I just think it's crap. But politics is no different in that aspect. Everything's fine there. You know, there's nothing to see there,
Right.
you know, at all. So, you know, we talk about these different candidates and things out there, and I think it's funny as hell. We see all these different candidates, and people are pulling for different people and all of that stuff. But I don't mean, and all of them, if you look at, let's clean up.
Right.
Let's clean up. Let's clean up the government. Well, I don't mean no harm, but cleaning up the government's really like trying to pick up a turd from the clean end at this point. You know,
It ain't gonna happen.
it's just not going to happen.
Money. It's too money driven.
Yeah.
Everything's endorsed and money driven now.
Yeah.
You're never gonna clean it up.
You know, and one of the biggest things, you know, in the headlines has been the release of some of the Weinstein stuff, or Epstein stuff. Epstein, yeah. Harvey Weinstein was years ago, the Epstein stuff. And some of the names on those lists, I don't know.
It's huge.
And I wouldn't, I expected every one of them. Like, it wasn't even a surprise.
I guess the new breaking thing for me is like the Jimmy Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers. Now, whether his name's on that list or not, that even landed that Aaron Rodgers guy, the quarterback for now it's the Jets, but
Yeah.
got him landed and kicked off the podcast with Pat McAfee or whatever the guy is from ESPN.
Yeah. But let's be honest. No name surprised me. Well, one.
Who?
Just one. Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can you imagine that conversation?
I don't.
Talk about being computer driven.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
I just don't even understand, just the logistics of moving Stephen Hawking to the island, like getting
Get his own boat.
Yeah, I don't know what he had his. Maybe I don't think he had his own plane. You know, he's a physicist and he was famous, but you know, they're not like rich and famous.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're comfortable, but they're not.
He was just there for the socialization.
Hello, I'm just here for the snacks. You know,
Yeah.
I just can't get over. You know what? Come here to you. You're a big dick wheelchair daddy.
I can't even. Yeah. That even to imagine Hawking being involved in something like that, even there, is just bizarre.
Well, so I'm not trying to get anybody out of their guilt, okay?
Right.
But hear me out here. I have kind of a theory on this. Jeffrey Epstein, one of the top most evil human beings ever to live on the face of the earth.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll put that out there. So he's doing some really, really evil stuff. Let's be, you know, what
For a
he's
very long time.
for a very long time. Now, if I'm going to do evil things and I want to get away with it, how do I get away with it for that long? I need to involve the people that can protect me.
Backing.
Well, is it backing or is it blackmail?
Ooh, good point. Good point.
So maybe some of these people, okay, there's some of them, I'm not going to name any specific names, but there's some of them that absolutely went there knowingly what the situation was.
Yeah, don't name the one name. You probably end up dead tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can write my own obituary this afternoon when we get done. But one of them, if I'm in that position, hey, come to my private island. I'm not asking for anything. We just We go, we have drinks, we party like it's 1999 type thing. We just have a good time.
Like Warren Buffett shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So some people fell for that, then got there, I believe. And then it's kind of like, now I've caught you. I have a picture. Click.
Oh, yeah. And there was a bunch of different pictures that surfaced after all that.
So some of those people went there out of ignorance of what it was, I believe.
Right.
Some, not all, like I said, maybe even the majority went there knowingly. But there were some people that went there 100% out of ignorance and got caught up in it because it was planned for them to get caught up so they could use that against them to gain an advantage, to gain leverage.
I could absolutely see that.
Because I think that's Epstein in a bottle, basically.
Bad people do bad things, man.
Yeah. And at that level, you're doing terrible, terrible, terrible things. But some of those people, man, like I said, the Hawking, Stephen Hawking, that was the one that really surprised me.
Right.
The rest of them, I had already kind of made my decision up that, let's be honest, I wouldn't be surprised what any of them's doing. And then you kind of have this, and I'm gonna bring the Cat Williams interview.
Hey, right? You got to give that dude props, though.
No, man, I'm a Cat Williams fan.
Me too.
I have been a Cat Williams fan since I first ever saw him.
Talk about a fall guy.
And
oh, shit.
He laid it all out there. Now, I can't sit here and tell you that everything he said was the truth, because I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time to fact check everything in there, and some of the people are already trying to run his name through the mud.
Well, they tried to cancel him for
years ago.
Yeah, for the gold Harvey Weinstein. They tried to cancel him then for speaking out, and you look at him, you look at people like Jim Carrey.
Right.
Jim Carrey is pulled away from Hollywood and stuff like that in a way that he
completely.
Yeah.
They called it like a psychiatric breakdown or a mental.
But don't they do that for all of them though? You think of Chappelle.
Right.
The brilliance.
The ones that start speaking the truth
Correct.
about Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's when they like, oh no, he's something's wrong.
No, Cat Williams laid it out there, son. I'm talking about it was something else.
So with the Epstein, how do you justify as one of those people that even if you were brought over there, let's say you invited me, I witness the things going on, but I don't partake in this. How do you justify not being able to be like, this is what's going on here? How does that last for that time frame and nothing ever come of it? Morally, how would you be able to?
I couldn't.
Are you offered money? How the hell you keep your mouth shut with something like that going on?
I am. If I'm answering as Joey, who the person is now, Joey who, with my means and all of that stuff currently now, I want for nothing now. Would I love to have $20 million? Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I selling my soul for $20 million? Hell no.
No.
I have a moral ground to stand on when it comes to children and abuse that many people may see as a little extreme.
Right.
I remember my dad, bless his heart. He told me one time, he said, my daughter's, when she was little, he said, if anybody ever does anything to her, you do what you need to do. I'm an old man. I'll take the rap for it. They're not going to put me in prison.
That's right.
He said, but when you do it, make sure they write a book about it.
Oh, yeah. No.
And that may be a little sociopathic or psychopathic. I don't know, either one. But I have that streak in me. But also, that I'm doing other things in the other world that we live in that to get the word out there about sex trafficking and stuff like that.
Right.
And we're going to talk more about this in future episodes of the podcast because I think that's stuff that's really important.
Oh, 100%.
But, I've been asked to start speaking on those topics and stuff like that in different places as a result of some of the stuff we've done recently.
Yeah.
And I think it is an amazing, amazing thing to be a part of. Number one, just to be, I don't know, I've been humbled by the response I've gotten from that. So,
right. And I'll be the first to admit, I had no idea how big that was.
Yeah.
Until recent, the information we were given through our other life, had no idea.
Yeah.
How long we've been coming, all 18 years of my career, had probably ran across it, I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
And to know the magnitude and how much money and big names is just involved here in the United States with it is just, it's mind-boggling.
It kills me.
It's
and there's not many things that Joey loses sleep over. I lost sleep over it when I found out that.
On the one specific case?
Not that, but just the magnitude of it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was horrible. But anyway, going back, Cat Williams, man, nothing but props to that guy simply because he laid it all out there. Again, I'm not going to fact check every word he says. Right. There's people out there doing that already. That, if it all was the truth, Lord help a lot of people.
Yep. Yeah, you talk about a career killer.
Yeah, but the other side to that is, I don't think a man's going to walk up there and do that doesn't have a reason,
right?
And
a lot of that stuff has been proven already through social media.
100%.
People have dug that quick and found old videos to confirm a lot of the stuff that he was saying.
So moving on. So we kind of talked about the news. We kind of
dove right into that.
I know
shit, right?
I know.
I mean,
yeah, we got heavy right there.
Jesus.
So we were starting out, and Brent was really nervous about it. I do another podcast for another thing I do. And I'm a public speaker, so I'm used to talking all the time. Brent was really nervous about it, and I told him it will be organic.
It will,
and it is.
Yep.
It is.
Once you get past the cameras and the lights and stuff, it's not so bad.
They're really not. They're just there to capture these stupid ass conversations.
Right.
So, moving on to some headlines here. I've got a few headlines I'd like to share with you.
Oh, this should be good.
And get your reaction.
This should be good. Like my unfiltered reactions?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't even have to read this whole thing out loud.
Let me scoot over here real quick.
Oh, Lord.
So, Alabama man shocked shoppers with X-rated plunge in Bass Pro Shops aquarium. Hold on, I'm gonna go back.
Is this a video?
No, I think it's just it's got one of those weird skip ad videos things
I
up there.
It's not blurred out.
Yeah, just wang hanging in front of the bass out there.
Minnow, honey.
Is that what they call a shiner? No, that's a butthole.
Is that a blunt head snapper? What is that?
Mommy, is that a starfish?
That's a chocolate starfish.
So in Leeds, Alabama, a man crashed his car outside of a Bass Pro Shops and stripped down to his birthday suit and plunged into the giant aquarium in the store. The ordeal happened on a Thursday night in front of shock shoppers in the town just outside of Birmingham.
Oh, easy. That's meth.
Yeah, it's like I'm not even surprised now. It's near Birmingham, Alabama. You ever been to Birmingham, Alabama?
Yeah, it's absolute trash.
Yeah,
absolute
I went to Talladega one time because I thought I liked NASCAR.
Oh, God. Then you realize there's just one big circle and one same turn.
All right, so I will give Talladega's that racetrack is amazing to look at because it's so immense.
Right, the magnitude of it.
Just the magnitude of it.
Right.
And outside of that, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, you eat at Bob's Fish Camp, and there's...
And the speed of the cars are pretty cool. Like, when it goes by you, but it's so big that it's gone.
Yeah.
You're waiting like another 45 seconds for the cars to come back around.
Yeah, I'm glad I grew out of that phase.
Right.
But, so this 42-year-old Alabama man did a cannonball. just fruit salad.
That's it.
Just right into the aquarium, and then stood under the waterfall. He left the water to yell at the officers, then dove back into the aquarium, police said.
I mean, at what point was one of those officers like, you go get him? Do you just wait this one out? Like, if you are that fucked up to where you jump, you not only do you crash your car, then you jump into the aquarium with God knows what else. Who's the unfortunate son of a bitch that's gonna be like, you know what?
And they got like bass
I'll
and
go.
brim in
Yeah.
there.
And I don't even like swimming in a pond because of shit touching my feet.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, I'll be outside. You let me know when you get it.
I mean, police officers don't get paid enough to deal with that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, like, what do? You just kind of wait until he gets done, right? And you kind of.
Yeah, I would. Or he drowns. Then you just grab him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably not going to drown. Stupid people don't
true.
die.
That survival instinct kicks
Yeah,
in. And you know how the meth heads are, man. They like roaches. You can step on them, they don't die.
I know, they're terrible.
That's probably really insensitive.
But it is. But, he did get charged with public lewdness, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief.
But no damage? No
Nope.
damage from wrecking into
I don't know. The man was in the water for about 5 minutes before the officers arrived, they said. So he should have got, he molested some trout or something like that.
Yeah. He definitely teabagged like one of the turtles.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
Some little snapper turtle in there is like, what the hell what is that? What is that?
absolutely happened.
Yeah. Alabama, man. Gotta love them.
Is there any nice towns in Alabama? Anniston wasn't bad.
Anniston
was pretty cool. Wasn't too
I mean, you got to, Alabama's technically 2 states anyway.
bad. What?
You have University of Alabama, and then you have Alabama Auburn.
Oh yeah.
And it's way worse than Carolina Clemson over there. Like way worse. Like they actively fight.
Like they physically hate each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool though.
It is.
There's a lot of
Alabama. I don't know. I've never heard like a really cool town in Alabama.
Yeah, like when you like for tourism, like we have Charleston and they used to Myrtle Beach, but now everybody knows it's
dirty Myrtle.
Ain't nobody going there unless you want to get shot or stabbed.
Yeah, or syphilis.
Yeah, you right.
But no, Alabama. I don't know. I don't even know what did they bring to the table, other than the Crimson Tide.
Inbred family members.
That's to the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't quite get all of that.
I'm really surprised that's all he got.
I know. But what do? You can't fix stupid, I guess.
Yeah.
So I thought this was really cool. Who can talk about headlines without talking about Florida Man?
Oh yeah.
So this one here is first ever Florida Man games. Yeah.
Interesting.
Feature beer belly wrestling and evading arrest obstacle course.
Okay. Hey, you know what? You can't really fault the man for that.
I know. The games will poke fun at the state's reputation for producing strange news stories involving guns, drugs, booze, and reptiles.
Okay. Well, the last one caught me off guard.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They got them snakes.
Oh, the big old
Yeah, the
anacondas and shit.
Like pythons, Burmese pythons.
Yeah. They find those the shits in like the people's houses all the time.
Mm-hmm. Especially down in South Florida. It's thank goodness, even where we live in South Carolina, it's a little bit too cold for them up here.
Right.
But they find them everywhere now. They're taking over the entire ecosystem down there in South Florida, Everglades and on that fringe and stuff.
They had the snake problem, and they had some sort of fish that they were sending all kinds of anglers down there to kill that would walk on water or walk on land.
Did what?
These fish that a couple of years ago they sent like anglers. You could go get paid to kill them. Snakeheads.
Snakeheads.
They walk on. They can live on land and then that's how they were infesting or other people's like personal ponds and shit.
Well, that's how our species ends, right there.
Yeah. If you evolve into that point.
Yeah. I know they have the big lionfish and stuff like that, offshore roundups and things like that, the invasive lionfish species. They came from aquariums. Obviously, these snakes came from owners who got rid of them, and these snakes must be pretty.
It's a typical
virulent
pet store bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So you go in, you're like, oh look, this cute little python. It's 2 feet long. and then you feed the son of a bitch rabbits in the next year, and it's 400 pounds, and you're like, what the fuck do I do with this thing? You know what sounds really good? Let's put it outside.
Yep.
We don't want the son of a bitch anymore.
I remember like one of the shows, like Swamp People went down there and did snake hunting. They did like a shoot off of that, and it was some of the guys from Swamp People and stuff like that.
Right.
And they, these guys wrestle alligators for a living.
Right.
And they were a little bit like, what the hell is this going on, Florida?
Yeah.
I don't get it. But anyway, so you think about it, most of the headlines coming from Florida does have guns, drugs, booze, usually some type of nudity involved,
Right.
and reptiles.
Well, it's warm. You know what I mean?
It's what-
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Or homeless people. I'm surprised the homeless population isn't really.
I know.
listed in here.
But
We just went to Legoland, and like that whole area is just riddled. Because I would run in the morning,
yeah,
and they'd be like on every corner, in like camps. I know every place has like the homeless camps, but they everywhere
wow.
around like a tourist area. That's great. Yeah.
Well, I guess I hate to say it, but if you're homeless in the touristy area, it's probably the most lucrative place to be homeless. You know what I mean?
Get
Like
money.
Yeah, you'd probably
Somebody's
be
gonna
able
feel
to
bad for
survive better like that.
You can't stay home and be homeless. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That would
Everybody knows you. They ain't
that
paying
would
you
defeat the
shit.
purpose. But
Come on, Bobby. I know you got a job with the hardware. Shut the fuck up and go back.
you
to
know you
work.
got that trailer. The first thing they said, this is out of St. Augustine, and this is from the AP.
Okay.
So, it ain't the Olympics.
It ain't. You sure this wasn't written in Colleton?
I'm sure. It ain't the Olympics, but a group of Floridians plan to host competitions themed according to the collective antics of the beer-loving, gator-possessing, rap sheet-heavy, mullet-wearing social media phenomenon known as Florida Man.
Oh my God.
What are they going to do? What does it say? They describe it as a competition of the most insane athletic showdown on earth.
Athletic. Now we're going to throw in athleticism. to this.
I am betting that there's no athleticism.
Beer belly wrestling.
There's a bunch of dudes that have my physique
Yeah.
with far less IQ points
100%.
running down and doing this. Yeah.
I kind of want to see a video of this.
I mean, I would probably go watch it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd make a trip to see it.
I probably would. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
That's like the bum fights back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Kind of shut down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it's going to turn into anyway. You know, it's going to start out and they're going to have all kinds of weird games. And at the end, there's just going to be fist fights everywhere.
Yeah. It can't be just belly wrestling, though. They've got to do.
What's some of the stuff that they got here? Here, the contest planned. Let's see. Evading arrest obstacle course. We talked about that. Jumps where the contestants jump over fences and through yards and will be chased by real police officers. The Category 5 cash grab, which participants
This is real life Grand Theft
try
Auto
to
with
grab
fat
as
dudes.
much money in a wind blowing booth and the self-explanatory beer belly wrestling.
I'm in. Let's go.
I'm going to. I want tickets.
Do you think they have one of those like weird ropes that you can't cross? Like, is this like an actual like athletic event?
No,
You don't think so?
I bet
I wouldn't want to get in front of one of these dudes.
it's
jumping
used.
over a fence.
It's used police line tape that they stole from down the street.
That's right,
And some
yeah.
cones from the DOT office.
They straight up stole this. They're trying to make a real life Grand Theft Auto of white trash version.
100%. But I just can't.
Obstacle course.
Obstacle course, man. That is ridiculous.
Is there what are the winnings?
Let's see.
$45.
Well, that's what.
Oh, that's the admission.
That's the admission.
You gotta pay $45 to watch a big dude jump over a fence.
They are comparing it to American Gladiators.
They no damn way. That's like the steroid era versus
I know.
cheeseburger era of
I don't know. It says it doesn't really say anything like it's going to be mud games. I don't know what would be the prize.
It ain't pride.
No.
I ain't going around telling nobody that I won the white man belly award of Florida man. It's not like a strongman competition. You ain't lift shit. Like, you didn't do anything all the time.
Lifetime visits to the dentist.
I want to see how many of these dudes hit this fence and don't make it. How big is this fence? Is it just
I don't
like a
know.
chain link fence?
What if it was like a chain link fence? And they're going to put it up shitty, too.
Yeah, it's going to like fall down.
Yeah, so like the first guy my size that jumps up on that fence, it's just going.
If it was like concreted in, I would 100% probably watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know they ain't gonna make it over there. You imagine?
I know. I want to know how. I've got to look into this further.
But listen, there's some big dudes out there that can be very athletic.
I know,
So
but
like, if this thing takes off, you could see potentially like big old offensive lineman going down there and be like, oh, if the grand prize is pretty big, I'm just gonna take a weekend and go show all these backwoods boys this shit.
maybe. I bet there's like prerequisites to be participants. You have to have like a felony rap sheet.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I don't think you could get like,
Or you take like you know how like NFL players take the entry test? You
yeah.
have to have like an IQ so low before you're allowed to sign up for Florida Man. Like, you're too smart to do this. You're overqualified for Florida Man.
Overqualified.
You got you're one up on the competition.
I mean,
Your IQ is 12.
I can't.
Florida Man.
Florida man. So this is out of the New York Post, and this is one of those. It's kind of gross.
I've only seen one word, and I think that's all I need to see, and it
Yeah.
already went away. Oh my God.
Plane passenger poops their pants during flight, smears it on the seat, spread out like peanut butter.
Mental health, bro. What?
I don't know. See, that's the thing, man.
What?
I
hope it was a short flight, like just straight, like Florida to North Carolina, Charlotte from Orlando.
It wasn't. It was probably.
This bitch is like all the way across the country.
Yeah. Thank goodness there's not a video of it. Another day, another incident at 30,000 feet. Yeah.
What an intro. What another day.
A Delta flight.
So not a cheap flight.
No. On Christmas Eve, so definitely not a cheap flight.
Oh, he was mad.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to be mad. Someone had shit on their seat, wrote an unidentified flyer from the Post.
They don't know? Like who this was?
I don't know.
What if it was like an infant that just like, or a kid?
I don't know. It says, according to the thread, the odoriferous incident occurred while the anonymous Redditor and their 8-year-old daughter were on a connecting flight from Birmingham, Alabama. There you go.
That's all you need to say.
There you go.
We just talked about it.
To Atlanta, Georgia. Well.
Oh, that's not a long flight. But I mean, still.
No, I would like drive that far. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. But
Yeah. Quit being lazy and drive.
listen, I ain't going to lie, though. Now that I got connecting flights to my home, is it like an hour and 15 minutes in the air compared to 12 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't getting in that car, especially with 2 kids.
Oh, no, I guess you're right.
That ain't happening.
But shortly after takeoff, so it didn't happen like at the end. So shortly after takeoff, the Redditor noticed a horrific odor writhing through the cabin, leading him to believe the kid had had an accident.
Hey, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, so, okay, we were good. About 20 minutes into the flight, I get a terrible smell and ask my daughter if she had pooted. She's 8.
Who uses that? It's got to be a white dude.
Well, yeah,
It's
it's a
gotta
white
be
dude,
another
100%. But he's
white
talking to his
parent.
daughter. But I don't know. Reed's 8, and I talk about fart around him all the time.
Fart's funny, though.
Yeah, fart.
It doesn't matter. That's one of those things as guys, like,
Yeah, farts
farting
are-
is always going to be funny.
Yeah,
Even when we're, like, trying to lecture our kids about,
yeah.
hey, good manners.
Yeah.
Farting.
It wasn't until they landed they discovered the appalling source of the stench. While departing, they reportedly saw a person 8 rows in front of them who had pooped all over the seat, so the bottom and back were completely covered in feces. They added the comments that the excrement was halfway up the passenger's back as well. He shit from his heel to his hairline.
Listen, though, we've all been in that spot when you holding it.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, and we don't like. What if this dude is too big for the airplane bathroom,
Dude.
and he's trying to hold that turtle head back in? You know what I mean? You don't know what this dude was going through. Maybe he was doing like that lower cramp.
Obviously, he went through his drawers and pants.
Right. Yeah.
I don't.
And then he's like trying to clean it up out of embarrassment and just made it 10 times worse.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Atlanta's covered in shit. So it's not like you're going to cover that. Everybody knows who did this at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When you get off that airplane, everybody knows.
Yeah,
you
know, but
you got to change your name after this.
Yeah, you've got to move. You've got to like go into witness protection. This isn't like just trying to let out a little quiet fart and you shart a little bit. This is full blown gastronomical suicide.
Yeah. I don't know how you recover in life.
No,
I don't know if you do.
I mean,
like
but it's on an airplane. Maybe he's not from around there, and he was connecting from somewhere else, and so nobody on the airplane really knows him.
Oh yeah, he might have been one of those ones that like sit through the off letting at the airport that they're landing at, and he was on a connecting from the.
Yeah, so maybe nobody knows. I mean, you could probably survive that, you know.
I guess nobody knows you, and if you have that, I personally would always come back to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, kind of like, not to steal anything from Ronnie Kenny, it was one of those things where you're like, I would never have fun again. Like, it would ruin every fun moment.
Just everything. I'd never leave my house.
You remember that time you shit yourself and smeared all over the airplane seat?
You couldn't leave your house at that point. You would close yourself in. But we've all had it. You know, we've all had those.
You could have had the flu. Man, who knows?
Yeah, who knows, yeah. But, yeah, that was definitely some of the headlines of the week. But I just can't quite get over that. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little more stand-up-ish, and I'll face it. You know, like, I've never, like, destroyed myself like that with feces.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I would go, I've had an accident.
Yeah.
And I need help. I think that's the right thing to do.
You talking to like an adult?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as an adult.
And you were just like, this is what happened and I need help now?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I could. I don't know. Pull your mic up a little bit closer there. There you go.
I was leaned over. My bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, if everybody's already going to see it, I might as well own it.
Yeah. Well, you almost all did that to me when I first came to work with y'all.
Yeah.
And you took me to the damn Fuji's.
Yeah, well.
And I told you, you either fire me now or you have me back to a firehouse in 3 minutes because I was about to embarrass myself.
Funny story about Fuji's. And we went there to eat one day. And we were going back to the office. And I was riding with you-know-who. and this guy likes to play those little jokes and stuff like that. And about halfway back, I started getting the bubble guts, and I was like, "Dude, you got to go. I got to get to the office. I got to go. So he's like hitting the brakes and stopping, and he slows down. You know, he drives like a bat out of hell anyway. He slows down like 10 miles an hour, and he's over there laughing. I start unbuckling my pants, and I pull my pants down. Like I didn't pull my drawers down yet.
Like I ain't playing.
And he goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I am going to shit in your passenger seat, and then you're going to have to explain why I did." I just, you know.
Yeah, I think we've all been in that spot. I just kind of feel bad for that. Like what that dude was probably like agonizing. He was probably trying to hold that.
I know.
Unless he was just that off.
He could have been.
Maybe.
But maybe, you know, a lot of those people, though, do they even let, like, those people that are off like that on airplanes now without, like...
I think I'm assuming they'd have to sanitize that thing before...
That whole... Well, you just throw that shit away, right?
The seat? I don't know, but you couldn't pay me enough to clean it. I mean, I say that, but look at the shit that we have to do in our other
I don't know.
Venture.
I don't know.
And you got to sit there and take it. So, like, as you're a stewardess or what do you call a male airplane
It's
person?
a steward, isn't it?
Steward?
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
God, I don't even know.
I don't fly enough
You
to,
just got to kind of like sit and watch it, and then you're like, God.
because you can't really do nothing about it on a short flight like that. You barely get out your
Don't
seat
poop. Don't poop.
Look at
Hold it.
look at focus.
You cannot shit on this plane.
Whatever you do.
It doesn't work for us in our other career life either. We're almost there.
Yeah.
I can't I just gotta go.
Poor Delta, they have gotten a bad rap too in the past couple years.
And they got enough money. They can afford it.
That's true.
They could buy another plane tomorrow if they needed
Fly
to.
with us, Dookie with Delta.
That's right. Dookie with Delta.
But no, they've gotten a bad rap on how they've treated some of their passengers. Maybe this guy got treated bad by Delta, and this was payback.
Yeah, it's kind of a kind of just cuts off on the story. You don't know any more
Yeah,
about it, or the backstory, or what happens to him, or
yeah. Some of these Redditors and stuff like that, they'll post like this stuff out there. 100% believe this happened. It probably happens way more than we know. Like, there's people shit their pants on planes often, I would think. There's a lot of people flying.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Hopefully
I know
they're
for
older though, and they have Depends.
maybe. I don't know. I mean,
Something's got to hold it. Listen, I've thought about multiple times taking a condom catheter when I'm traveling, so I ain't got to stop at least to pee because I drink so much water on a daily basis.
yeah. But you think about it. You go somewhere and say you're out partying, and you get up the next morning. You in a different town, different area, different foods. Your stomach flora doesn't quite agree with the local foods and stuff like that. And then you go drinking a little bit, and then you get on the plane the next day.
You're right, and that gut bomb hit.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you do?
Try to get to the bathroom.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what happened. What went through this guy's mind?
and he's probably late to the airport, so he didn't have time to get rid of this before
Yeah.
he got on the plane. That would be the common sense thing. Go, I may have a little rumble. Let me go drop the kids off at the lake before I get
Yeah.
on the plane.
Yeah, and it says smeared like peanut butter. That's what the witness says, right?
Yeah.
Smeared. So that's a solid log.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's not like he had.
yeah. It wasn't like a virusy
No,
thing or
no,
something.
it's not like
No,
You ain't shitting out a virus either.
I'm thinking this was intentional.
It's kind of what it leads up to.
This
If I'm
is-
reading between the lines.
yeah,
That's
this-
totally my take on it.
Yeah, I think it's terrorism.
Biohazard terrorism.
I think it's terrorism.
Oh, shit.
So, speaking of drinking, I was scrolling through Facebook.
Oh, you're gonna learn everything.
I know. Facebook, I only get on there for the laughs anymore.
Right.
If it's not something that's really cool, I try to only do stuff that makes me feel good. I don't get involved in arguments, and I don't even comment on things because I don't want to be involved with it and stuff like that, just because they're all trash.
The best thing that's ever happened was that unfollow thing.
Yeah,
Anything
100%.
you see that it just annoys the shit out of you.
Just unfollow.
Yeah.
Get on down the road.
The one person that always has the answer to life's issues
Yeah.
that tries, you know what I mean?
But so I was looking through there, and of course, we have meme madness, right? There's memes everywhere, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
Hey, listen, I've been guilty of it. I've been guilty of them a little bit with the memes.
oh yeah,
You get one that'll catch you, and you'll be like, "It's not so bad."
yeah, oh yeah.
And then like 2 days later, you'll reread it, and you'll be like, "Man, what the fuck? What the fuck?"
But I was on one of these. It was a page of like funny memes,
Right.
and inappropriate funny memes, and it had some of the memes of the Sesame Street characters.
Oh God.
And you've seen those.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen those. But it got me thinking, in this day and age, what actually, because there's this whole theory behind Winnie the Pooh, right?
What?
Yes. So there's this whole theory that the whole story of Winnie the Pooh was,
Don't ruin this for me, Joey.
I'm going to ruin your
Winnie the Pooh
childhood.
fan.
I'm going to ruin your childhood. Was an analogy, kind of, for mental health, behavioral health conditions.
Oh, I did hear this.
Yeah.
I do remember. For the depression for the donkey.
Yeah.
The D for depression, all this shit.
Christopher Robin was schizophrenic,
Right.
and Pooh was,
Oh, I don't remember.
I can't remember. Rabbit was OCD.
Tigger was ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do remember hearing this. And it makes sense.
Yeah. So that entered my head at the same time as that I wonder, and I was looking at the Sesame Street meme, something about Bert and Ernie and a dead hooker or something like
Oh.
that. Yeah, but that entered my head about the same time, and I was like, I wonder, is Sesame Street also an analogy for stuff like that? Or is an analogy because in that the puppets played different characters from different walks of life, if you really think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had, obviously the one in the track, Grover. No, it wasn't Grover. The Grouch.
Oh, Oscar.
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
So he lived in a trash can, and and he looked like a nug of weed,
Yeah.
But was that like an analog for like homeless people or people in the
Probably like different socioeconomic classes that everybody felt involved, or that you didn't have as much as somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then I got to thinking, so who would represent like the alcoholic drunk uncle that may be a little pervy?
Ooh, on Sesame Street. Animal?
No, that was Muppets.
Was that Muppets?
Yeah, that was
Jesus Christ, I can keep all this stuff straight now. Sesame Street. I don't know. What do you think?
Grover, no question.
I can't think of who Grover is. You said it twice now.
He was like a blue. He was like a blue. He was like a grown-up Elmo, but blue.
Damn.
But he was really like adultish and like,
Creepy.
yeah, he was like the guy that was kind of weird and creepy. He was like the guy that after they got done filming, if puppets were real, I know puppets aren't real, y'all, would go home and drink at the end of the day and get just shitty, slobbery.
Then you wonder about the puppeteer that's behind it.
Yeah, 100%. Then, that carries it on down
Yeah.
to what about that puppeteer? And then, then what does, the stars of Sesame Street, Grover was like a second tier character. To be honest, you had Big Bird and Bert and Ernie and Elmo, super popular because of the toys they made, and stuff like that. What did they really represent? And I got to really thinking about that, and I was like, I couldn't quite figure it out. Then I came to a kind of an understanding that I'm fucking crazy. That this is what my Saturday morning consists of, is analyzing.
This is my thought process.
This is my thought. This is how I think. But you had like Big Bird, who was like this outgoing, loved children. Elmo loved children, and he was, it was very inclusive.
The feel good.
Yeah, the feel good part about
the
it.
child rescue.
And and they talk about, they had a couple of dark episodes. They had like a puppet with AIDS one time.
What?
Yeah,
Don't remember that one.
I don't think you can find it, like in their archives and stuff like that if you went there. But yeah, they had one that was really sick, and this was, back in the
80s.
Yeah, the crest of the HIV/AIDS crisis and all of that, where everybody was going to die from sitting on toilet seats, everybody, all that bullshit.
Right.
But I was always wondered, what avatars these puppets played in real life, because there had to be some kind of inspiration for them.
Oh, there has to be a premise for everything, right?
So right?
Yeah, so I could see that. I don't know. What a topic.
I know, right?
God.
That could be a whole podcast in itself. But because you think about like Bert and Ernie. Think about those. So I always thought of Bert kind of being more of the, there I go hitting my damn microphone again. Bert being like the more settled more level one.
Right.
That was the one with the like tufted hair
Yeah.
with the one
He was
eyebrow.
like the big brother to Ernie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ernie kind of being a little looser cannon, so to speak.
Yeah, way.
So if we had something like that and we thought like, if like Grover was a drunk, would Bert and Ernie be a representation of like manic depression?
Yeah, I could see it.
Like you had this.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, there's
because a lot
Ernie.
of times Ernie would have downers too, where Bert
Yeah.
would have to like give him the pep talks. And
Yeah, I know,
try to
right?
get him back up. Yeah, I could see it. Everything probably has some hidden. I think everything does.
Do you really think Sesame Street's that deep?
Probably. I bet there's subliminal stuff that was hidden inside that writing.
It has to be.
I would venture to say.
I would much rather have Sesame Street than what we got now for sure. Because I believe the intentions of stuff like that were probably pure.
Oh, today's shit is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing out there really to offer kids. And if you watch some of this shit even that they call it educational, some of these YouTube channels or shit that these kids like even my two are guilty of it. You got grown ass people. You talk about we're talking about the mental health part of it. Go watch some of these grown ass people opening up toys and then getting like all jacked up over these toys just to earn money from the makers of the toy. It's a smart plan.
Yeah.
But
Those reveal videos and stuff like
some
that.
of them are dressed up in like women's clothing and like it's just whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to live, like how you want to make your money, that's fine. But it's Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, all that stuff. The old school way of getting life lessons across. 100%.
Yeah. I agree.
It's definitely safer.
Well, I think it just goes back to, my kids. They watch YouTube videos. We try to censor it as much as possible. They watch videos of people playing video games. That's
when they have the video game right there in the front room.
Yeah, but they want to get a leg up. They want to be better than the other. Let me tell you something. I've played Call of Duty since Call of Duty pretty much came out.
See, I'm not a gamer, so I'm all ears for this topic.
So
I just get annoyed. That's all I know.
But as I've gotten older, I like to play the game when it first comes out, and I'll play it for a few weeks, maybe a month, pretty regularly. And then my interest just wanes, and I fall out of it. Well, it was interesting because Sydney and them always played the more child-pointed games, I would say, more cartoony type stuff and things like that. They didn't really play like Call of Duty, the more quasi-realistic stuff. They started playing Call of Duty. And so, I'm 46, almost 47. And as I've gotten older, my reaction time, because you got to be pretty quick on those games.
Oh, I learned that shit in my one little phase I went through.
And processing information and stuff like that. And, you'd work up, and I got a bunch of guys, we all play together and stuff like that. And we talk all kinds of shit to each other. But we're always having trouble, and they've got all kinds of stuff in the games now that really kind of level the playing field where whether you're pretty good or you're not that good, it kind of levels the game for you so the person that kind of sucks doesn't feel like they suck.
Really?
Yeah, it's all about.
Feel good.
Yeah.
See, you have a big problem with this.
I do too.
So
And I think
you even get participation trophies in virtual world.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah, 100%. But Reed and Sydney started playing, and Sydney's 15, reached 8. Within 2 weeks, they could beat me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think it's just the level or speed at which their minds can process and react.
Or learn, because they're still a young brain. Yeah.
Compared to mine.
All that gray matter. Just warp.
Just warped and wore out and atrophying and full of
hydrocephalus.
So much useless knowledge up there that I have to just plunder through to get one simple neuron to fire at the right time.
Yeah.
But no, they got like extremely, extremely good. So good to the point that I was like, play that game. I'm done.
Yeah.
because I didn't want to play against him anymore.
No, hell no. I don't know. He wants me. My son wants me to play now.
Just so he can beat the hell out of
Yeah,
you.
just so he'll be like, "Hey, nice try."
He is trying to alpha that thing.
Nice job, Dad. Shithead, you suck.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jackson. This is the first time I've ever picked this
Yeah,
up.
he's trying to be the alpha. Is
Yeah,
what he is.
100%. And that dude. If we're on like any first-person shooter,
Yeah.
I tried to play that. I think it was Call of Duty. And he's like, "You're camping." I'm like, "I'm just waiting to see you because I don't know.
I can't run. I can't do all that stuff.
What the fuck I'm doing? You switching out guns every 0.2 seconds, jumping and throwing grenades.
Yeah, it's just like what? I can't get it.
And then I come around and that bitch would shoot me. I'm like, oh, I got it. Yeah, so just so he could talk shit to me.
Yeah, it's funny though. It's funny to watch them grow up, but they watch videos how to get better.
Right.
And actually, and I don't know. Reed does it all the time. He does this Hunter Call of the Wild game, which is like this hunting game. I play it because it's nice and slow and it doesn't require reaction time. Just run around, hunt, and literally get up in a tree stand and shoot shit.
Right.
Really cool guns, and it's really a cool kind of laid back game. He will get on YouTube to find out where the best animals are, so he can go kill
Go to the
them.
maps and do it.
Yeah, and do it.
You know what game I did like? Farm Simulator. That's where my life is.
He played that and Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator.
There's a goat simulator. I don't know.
heard of that one.
I think they made that for people in the Middle East.
Oh, I see what you did there. Hopefully the camera angles are not the same. How realistic is that game? Gross.
It's terrible.
Gross.
It's terrible. Hey, well, we've been running almost an hour here, Brent.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Time flies when you get into it like that.
That's
though.
right. Feels like coffee table talk.
I know, right? So we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up, y'all. I do appreciate y'all tuning in. This episode should be airing on January 22nd, I think is when I'm.
22nd. Okay.
So it's going to be pretty quick. But I wanted to let y'all know before we left where you could always find us. The Sarcasm and Serotonin podcast is on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can just type into the search bar, Sarcasm and Serotonin. You can do it one word or 3 words, and you'll see our logo pop up there. The podcast will be live midnight on the 22nd, so that's midnight in the morning.
Okay.
On Spotify, and then subsequently by about 5 a.m., Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio.
Perfect.
So you can go to any of those and search for Sarcasm and Serotonin. That is A-N-D, serotonin, not the squiggly little thing. But spell it out, Sarcasm and Serotonin. And if you have any questions for myself or Brent or any topics you'd like for us to hit on,
Shoot them.
yeah, Sarcasm and Serotonin at gmail.com can get you there. And I will reply to every message. It might be fuck you, but I'm going to reply to every message. So that's our social media. Please, please, please go visit. Give it a like. Give it a share. Set your notifications for it, especially the YouTube. So our podcast will be mostly verbal or audio podcast. YouTube, you can actually go watch the video.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So,
That'll be interesting.
but Spotify, you can
Everybody's
too.
going to judge by how many times I picked up that glass.
It'll be okay. Guess what? They don't know what I'm drinking over here.
You're right.
And I'm drinking out of a big cup.
That's right.
But if please go to those websites, like and share and subscribe to those, and help us out. Comment. We love doing this, and we want to continue this, and that's all up to you. So from myself and Brent, thank you, and see you later.